guys, what's up and how are you doing? My name is Milan and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to show you the Grand Canyon and dinosaur footprints. So let's get started. Here we are driving through the gate to the Grand Canyon National Park. But before we could start the first hike for today, we had to drive up to the parking lot and walk a little bit up to the canyon. But then we finally arrived at the Grand Canyon, and look at that view. That looks awesome, right? But how I told you, we still had to walk a little bit until we came to the place where we could really go into the Grand Canyon and start our first hike for today. And after a little walking, we could start our hiking, and how you can tell, we are right now at the trail and start hiking in the Grand Canyon. And after a few minutes, we walked to the first tunnel. Exactly, guys, do not enter, there's a dangerous overlook. Actually, I don't really can tell the difference between standing on top at the entrance to that hiking pass and be on the hiking pass right now, and look at this. It's basically the same. And you might thinking now, right here in the middle is the deepest point at the Grand Canyon, but after the cliffs at the end, they had to go a little bit more deeper and further down. But we're not going there because up to the campground down there, before the cliffs, it would be, I think, around 15 kilometers, and this is way too far because we want to hike in all the pass at the same day, so we're just walking 2.5 kilometers in and 2.5 kilometers out. I'm not sure if it's just a day where I was there or if it in general is really crowded, but usually you can see a lot of people, and it was really hard not to film all those people and just get a little bit of the beautiful nature. For example, how you could see right now, people are jogging, hiking, and other people, they're walking all the rim around, which is a long way. I don't know how much exactly, but it's a lot. And they're gonna camp and are there in for more than 4 days, and when they're coming out on the way, they're usually gonna tell you where they walk and also how long they walk, but I never really paid attention after a while because it all was like, oh, I was in there for 4 days, I camped there and walked like around 50 kilometers and now I'm on my way out and I almost there. And by the way, we're walking through the next tunnel and we are not even far in there, but it looks quite a bit because you're going down really fast. And here you can see another overview, which looks like basically like the two what we could see before, and not really much different because it's like really deep, and we are just like maybe, I'm not really good in this, 50 or 100 meters deep in, and there's a tree in our way, yay! And now we can see again the Grand Canyon. And because the tree is not an animal, I'm going to show you now it's squirrel. What a good transition. But however, there are like a lot of squirrels which running around and begging basically for food, so they're not even afraid of you. So I decided to try to touch one of them, which you're not supposed to do because they actually can bite you and hurt you. And now we are around 2.5 kilometers in the Grand Canyon, which don't look that much because it's still far away up to the bottom. And a half kilometer before the cliffs, there is a campground where people actually camping, and I'm standing on a rock a little upside the trail. So I'm going to turn around and go back out the canyon now to go and hike the canyon on the other part again. And the green thing under me are trees, like its other side, how I can see the green dots. So you might know how big this cliffs really are. And how I told you, there are a lot of people, they're actually hiking in and out. So I don't know if it's normal or not, but there are a lot of people. And also a few speed walkers. Just kidding, I speeded it up a little bit. Like I told you, in the Grand Canyon you can find a lot of animals, for example that deer. And the funny thing, or not really funny thing, is that the animals are not running away from humans anymore because they're used to humans and expect from them that they get food from them, so they're down running away. And that is actually not really good anymore, so you shouldn't feed them, and it's actually forbidden. But a lot of people don't really care about that rule. And after I was done standing there and filming the deer, I continued walking out of the Grand Canyon through the next tunnel, where I found a lot of other people hiking in the Grand Canyon.
After 4 hours in the car.
I'm not stopping to take my shirt.
And after we made it out of there, we drove a little bit up to another spot where we start hiking in again. How you can see right now, this is the spot where we start hiking in again. And guess what? Here we are going to walk down all the way. I mean, not all the way to the bottom, but like at least 2.5 kilometers again. But I mean, it is worth it. It also looks like pretty beautiful, how you can see here right now. And I think we started somewhere over there, but I'm not for sure. But we are still not done, so we continued our way. I really would love to show you some more of these impressions with music, like I did in my last video, but this is also the problem. In my last video, even I used some music from YouTube. YouTube decided to make my video not really available in all countries, Germany. So I decided not to do it and don't use the music, even the music from YouTube. So I'm sorry, but you have to enjoy this beautiful nature without music today.
So here we are, South Kabat.
But we also walked a little bit further on this not really good trail anymore, but there it's going way further and way down to the bottom, so we decided to turn around and go back up. Even after we walked 2.5 kilometers in, it still was not possible to see completely at the ground. I mean, yeah, you can see really far and think maybe it's the ground, but there also this little tiny crack in the ground where it goes like a little bit further down. When a little bit further, I mean around a few hundred meters more. I don't know how much exactly, because it's going down and down and down, and you think you're at the bottom, but you see a part where you can go down more. And on some parts, I'm not exactly sure if you're supposed to go up there or not, but it's pretty easy to get there, and you can see really far down, like for example that one. After we enjoyed this beautiful view over the canyon, we really went up again. And here we are at the top, and look at that view. It's not really much different that from the down, but still good. And after we had 2 hikes, which both was about 5 kilometers each, so all in all 10 kilometers, we went up, and that was our day in the Grand Canyon. But we can see at the right side deers. Don't worry, 10 kilometers hiking a day is way enough, so we just stopped a little bit and took a few pictures on a few spots before we went up to High Tower. Okay, it's not really a high tower, but it's still 3 floors high, and you still got a pretty good view over the canyon. And it's not really make a big difference if you stand just on the bottom or if you walk up all the 3 floors to the top. But the difference is, outside you don't have this pictures at the wall which you got when you walk inside. And that is the way where we came from, and the view is a little bit limited because you have to look through windows and are not allowed to look up all the way, but you still can see a little bit, and yeah. So that is the view which you got at the top. And now we're going down there where all these people are standing. Here you can see the little tower / castle where we stand, and now look at that view. It's not really different than from the top, but it's more like clear because you don't have to watch through windows or are limited by the walls with the windows. And that was all for the day for the Grand Canyon, and now we are on the way to see some dinosaur footprints. And then we arrived at the dinosaur footprints, and they're not really spectacular or something, so I'm going to end right here. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also you can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. And also at the right side you can see the last episode of the South Day trip.